Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tell It to Them Straight. We are in an exclusive location, but this is for another interview. So we're going to focus on this. I'm one of your hosts, Kyle Guthro, and I'm with the beautiful
Carmelia Ray. Thank you, Kyle.
And today we are going to talk about confidence in dating. This is an important topic.
Yeah, confidence in dating is something that a lot of my clients ask advice on, particularly for people who have been out of the dating game for a while. I feel like confidence lowers the more that you like someone, right? It feels like when I was in a recent situation where I actually was feeling like, oh my gosh, am I saying the right thing or not the right thing? It happens in business meetings. If I'm applying as a host for a new show, sometimes my nerves, I'll perform, but I lose my confidence a little bit. So I know that when it comes to dating, singles are going to want some tips on how to be confident. So what are some ways that you do? What are some ways that you become more confident?
You know, as a confidence communication coach, I get this question a lot. And a lot of it comes from inner confidence. So start from the inside out. I know it sounds so cliche, but it's actually true. Mm-hmm. So for those out there, focusing on your health and fitness, very important. I've met a lot of individuals that are in the single space, successfully have done extremely well in work and business, but lack in their health and diet and lifestyle.
Yeah.
So for men and women, the number one thing to quickly get you a lot of confidence is getting results in the gym. Now, I know for some this might be tricky, but it is very important. There's a ton of studies out there that talk about how going to the gym daily, changing up your lifestyle of diet and nutrition can ultimately transform. You start seeing a result, you start feeling better about yourself. You'll actually start standing up and walking taller, especially if you start working out more, stretching more, you're moving your body a lot more, and you're not going to be so robotic and stiff like a statue.
Right. You know, it's so funny because as you were saying that, I was thinking, when you look good, you feel good, but also when you feel good, you look good. So it's kind of like for those people who feel great, but maybe they lack the confidence outward, right? So you want to match your inward to outward. And of course, for those, as you said, some days I might look good, but I actually don't feel good. And usually when I don't feel good, it's because I didn't go to the gym that day, or it's because I made the bad choice of fast food versus something I know that's going to feed my body. And today I made a great lunch choice. Like I made a healthy lunch choice, and it was conscious. When I'm not thinking about it, those are the times that you tend to slack. And when you put that exercise regime in your plan, it really, those benefits are priceless, really.
Well, not only that, and just to, again, not to make the topic about diet and nutrition, but there's foods out there that trigger bloating. And you might look in the mirror going, oh, I don't look so good, when in fact it's just the food that did that.
Yeah.
It causes the bloating.
Or gas.
Or the puffiness in your face, or even the bags under your eyes because maybe you consumed too much alcohol or bad food the night before.
Yeah.
Like those little things can definitely help or hinder the way you feel about yourself that day.
Absolutely. I'll say that for me, when I feel more confident, I know that I put more preparation into whatever task I'm supposed to do. If I have to perform or if I have to lead a talk or something, the more that I prepare for that experience, the more confident I show up. So how can you prepare for dating?
Yeah, so to add to that point, it's where confidence meets competence. And a lot of people may be confident in a subject or something that they're really good at, but not particularly competent in. Then there's a lot of individuals that are very competent in a specific subject, but not confident. So what you want to do is bring those two together. It's a healthy mix of having those, because overconfidence is called
cockiness.
Exactly, and that's what we want to avoid, and arrogance.
Yeah, arrogance.
So
yeah.
it's about a matter of portraying a sense of confidence, but not over the top with cockiness.
I love that, because I think, your level of attraction is also related to your personality. I know that I might see an attractive guy, but to your point, if there's that bravado, overconfidence, sort of that machoism and attitude, all of a sudden I'm not seeing the good looks. I'm actually turned off.
Right.
Like it's like repellent. Okay, you might as well spray Raid on this person. But another way to build confidence in the preparedness that I was talking about is have those questions ready. Do you already know what you can connect on? Have you done some research on the person you're about to go out with? If I were going to go on a date with Kyle, I would probably look at his Instagram. This is what everybody would do. And I think it's what you should do. Even though I see his Instagram, I'm not going to make assumptions about, I know exactly who he is. I love those people who say, I know who they are, right from their Instagram. No, how can I say that? I've never spent time with him. I don't know really what he's about. Maybe that's his work life. Do you know that a lot of people are very different at work than they are in person? And I was just speaking to a client, she's a notable actress, and you would assume this person is the life of the party, gregarious, outgoing, when really, massive introvert. And she does it because that's what the role requires, but in her real life, she's quite quiet, very intimate circle of friends, and needs to recharge when she's around a lot of people. So make sure you've done some research. Now, they're not lab rats, right? But get to know them. What are their interests? What are the things that you can talk about that you know would create more dialogue? Secondly, have a bunch of questions already in your wheelhouse. I have been interviewing singles now for 30 years, so I will never run out of questions to ask of people, from food to industry to life to mindset to fashion to beauty to, I don't know, whatever underwear they're wearing. I just will not stop running out of questions. So that's another way that you can build confidence.
And with that questions and building the confidence comes the execution or the practice of that execution. Too many individuals will study the manual on how to gain more confidence, when in fact they got to go out and actually execute it, practice it. Next time you're at a coffee shop, you know what? Compliment someone. Start a conversation. Too many individuals are scared to start trying new things because it brings them out of their comfort zone. I actually did this with a client today.
You did?
It's
did you
called
give homework?
Role playing.
Got it.
We replayed a scenario where we met for the first time in a coffee shop. How would you approach me? And she made it awkward. She's like, she complimented, she's like, I like the way you smell. I'm like, okay, that's an interesting one. But
I don't.
It's a good cologne.
I like the smell of your leather.
Yeah. But it you could tell she was clearly nervous. But with that practice, you become very quick on your feet.
Yeah.
You can become more comfortable. And again, as you ask this question more and more, you get good at it. So you know when you begin to learn to read the other person's body language, how they're reacting. Are they playing with their hair? Are they looking into your eyes? Are they looking over your shoulder? Like all those little subtle cues that you begin to pick up on.
Practice makes progress. I would say that. And, you know, it's so interesting that you say that because a great thing that I would recommend, I think both men and women can be better at flattery. I think the art of flirting, which can be another completely different topic, is lost. The art of, an article that's going to come out for Bella Magazine, I'm a writer, is The Forgotten Art of Dating. You mentioned in a previous episode about men's chivalry, right? Complimenting someone outside of their physical looks. If you are an attractive man or woman, you already know that. I mean, I think most people know that. It's surprising how some good-looking people don't think they're good-looking, though. Do you know that?
Yeah, that is an interesting topic, but I will say tread carefully with external validation.
That's what I'm saying. Do a compliment. I like that she said she likes your smell because it's, different.
It's unique. Definitely caught me off guard.
It's unique.
Yeah.
But you could say something like, I love your fashion sense,
love
right?
Your jacket.
I love your exact, where'd you
it's
get
something as simple as, you know what? Make it about them. That can also instill a lot of confidence in you. The reason why is because if you're going around complimenting people and you authentically mean it, they're going to reciprocate it back to you. More often than not, they'll say, oh my God, I really love your shirt. Or, oh my God, I really love the way you did your hair. Women are great at this.
Yep.
They love returning the compliment.
Yes.
So that is one way of boosting your own confidence, is make someone else feel better about them, and guess what? The universe rewards that behavior back to you.
I love that. So there you have it. There are some practical physical tips that you can do to boost confidence. Kyle mentioned, diet and exercise, lots of sleep. That's something that I've been struggling with. I know that if I don't get my sleep or I'm hangry, I'm probably not going to be the best date, and I'm probably not going to be the best company because I'm so distracted on my hunger and that I'm tired. So if you're struggling with fatigue, if you have been letting something go, I don't know how many men that I know, and I don't want this to be about men and women, but I know a lot of men that I know that don't go to the doctor, right? They haven't gone to the doctor.
What's a doctor?
I know, right? Dentist is a different story.
Yeah.
Please
Oh,
go
yeah.
every 6 months. Go every 6 months, right? Oh, 3 months, even better. So when you don't know what's going on in your body, in your bank account, in your mind, like all of those little things actually impact how you are in person. So deal with those insecurities and work on those things. I'd have to say that most people are quite critical about themselves, and when you go on a date, you're like, oh my God, I hope they don't know this or don't know that.
That's self-judgment.
Right? This heavy self-judgment when first date is really just, do you click? Do you like each other? Is there enough common ground on values to determine like a second date? So I think the other thing you want to do is you don't want to overhype this first date. I had a client that was sharing with me a disappointment in a first date not leading to a second date because the first date was great. But sometimes when you put a lot of weight on that person and less weight on you, you give it kind of more meaning than it needs to. Am I making sense?
Yeah, give without expectation.
Yeah.
A lot of times individuals do that. They will give to receive, when in fact just give.
Yeah.
My kind of final note with all of that is that the confidence is a skill that you learn, just like anything else, and with it comes practice. So if you're nervous on your first